Hello everyone, this is Ramon with Porterfield's Flowers, and today I'm working on a project as I decorate my home for the fall season. The past few weeks I've actually decorated the swag for the door and the flower arrangement for my cocktail table. But today I'm going to do this light fixture. Nothing to me says it's time for the holidays or for a celebration than the chandelier being all decked out for the holidays. So without any further ado, I'll tell you how I started is I actually did the shape of what it will be the swag of the chandelier. If you can see on the top, I just strapped some branches with some of my trusty zip ties that I'm keeping in my pocket because I have a step stool right here that I'm gonna need. And then the second thing that I added on the top facing the door, which I want to mention something. I'm going to do a swag on the top, and so what I want is the main focal point to be from the entrance, at least in my house. When you first walk in, you see the dining room, and that's what I want to show from the very front. Now, if in your home, the first thing you see is the chandelier from your living room, then I would do that focal point from that point of view. And what I did is I added a cage. I don't know if you guys can see, we use this at the flower shop. They're a cage made out of plastic with some floral foam. And I went ahead and added one to this side, but because I want to add a few of the elements to the other side, I'm gonna go ahead and wire another one. And I do want to mention that I'm gonna be up and down the steps too because I cannot reach that high up. I know David has longer arms and sometimes he doesn't need them, but I'm sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and step up there. I'm gonna try not to fall here and excuse my back. I'm gonna go ahead and wire that, give it a few spins, and then put it down. And I want to mention the things that I'm gonna use are gonna be the same product that I used the last time, the same foliage, the same sunflowers, and the same magnolia that is my theme. And this time I'm going to go ahead and add some gourds that I got from Porterfield's Flowers. I have right here already pre-picked my fallen pine cones, and then also because I added a burlap ribbon to the swag on the door, I went ahead and pre-made one for the swag on the top of the chandelier. So I'm gonna get started. This might take a little bit longer than the past two, so be patient with me. I promise you will like this. And like I said, I'm gonna go up and down the step stool, so I'm gonna try and take as much material as I can with me. I'm gonna start with some of the foliage. And what I'll do, and what you can do is, actually poke. I'm going to show you how you can poke into that foam and it'll stay there. But what you want to do is you want to start with your longer pieces. Keep in mind that you might want to be able to see some of the branches because why else would you put them in there if you cover them all up? And then also, it's a very important thing that when you do a chandelier, I'm blessed enough that right here is not so high up, but you might want to make sure that some of these branches touch the ceiling. So, I'm going to go ahead and put that there. I'm going to start trying to cover the foam. Okay. This is super quick. If you have this cage, you can find us at any local craft store or florist department in your superstores. That's where I got mine. So make sure, like I said, put some in the back because it's going to be an all-round arrangement. Sometimes it's hard to find it from on the other side, but just go ahead and give it a tag right there. And right there. I'm gonna go down. Now I have over here my magnolia pigs, and I was telling you guys last time I talked to you, this is actually the whole pig. If you can see, is really long. And yeah, I know we paid a lot of money for these things, but what I like to do is actually use them as pigs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make two out of these ones. So I'm gonna cut right here, right where it joins, and then I'm gonna make another tall one. And then the second one, I'm gonna cut shorter. I'm gonna make three out of the second one. How do you guys like this project? Do you guys decorate your chandeliers? The first time that I ever saw a chandelier decorated for the holidays was actually at David Porterfield's Christmas open house when he did his house for the Casa tour. And I looked at that chandelier and I will never forget it. It was like the most beautiful thing that I think I ever saw in my life. It was just all this swag of hydrangeas, and it was just absolutely stunning. So ever since I saw that chandelier about 5 years ago, every season I have to do something. And the reason why is because at least in my house, the room where I spend most of the time when I entertain is the dining room, so I like to give my guests something visually appealing. Alright, so I'm gonna get up there again. The house where I used to live before, the ceilings were 10 foot tall, and it was just pretty scary to be in the ladder that high, but not no more. Remember to put some on the back. I just insert from behind. Alright, so far so good. I'm going to start adding my flowers. I have some sunflowers left from my other projects, and I have some mini sunflowers I also got at Porterfield's. I want to stop and ask you guys, if you're enjoying this tutorial, please go ahead on the right hand side of your box. There's a share button. I would really appreciate if you share with your friends so they know what's going on and what I like to do for a living. I'm also going to take these little buds that I'm going to insert up there. Alright, so we're going to do some, I'm going to put the little ones, I'm going to go ahead and extend them as far out as I can. So I'm going to go ahead and poke that there. And then I'm going to do one on this side. And that foam really does grab, so don't be afraid to play with it. That foam is really dense, so when you poke a stem, it really stays there. So don't be afraid to poke into that. I'm going to leave that for behind, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bud up here and one to the bottom. I'm going to give you a secret. Earlier before I started this project, because this chandelier does swing a lot, I went ahead and marked right here with a dot. You guys don't see what I have a dot right here, and once the chandelier starts spinning, that's my front of the fixture, so that's what you guys will see when you enter the house. And then once I'm done, I remove that sticker. That way, when it starts spinning, I was working on the front the whole time. So, okay, I'm going to add, he's going to take out of his stem. Alright, so I'm going to actually I'm going to cut this one. It's too tall, so I need these three to be closer to the foam, so it starts filling in the foam because you can still see it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those. I'm going to add one going that way, one going this way, and then a third one, because it's long, I'm going to add up here, far away from the rest of it. There we go. And then the last little one that I have, I'm going to poke in the back or from behind. There we go. Do you guys like it so far? Let me know. But doing a thumb thing, I can see you from over here. Alright, so now that I have that, I'm going to go ahead and add my ribbon. Remember I mentioned before, there's nothing worse than these flat tails. So what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and dovetail them before I get them up there. And the other thing we're so against is the same length. So I'm going to make one shorter on these right here. And I'm going to take the rest of this little foliage to poke as I'm up there. I'm going to put that one there. Okay. I'm going to put one right here. And I'm going to go ahead and poke the bow. And I'll put this guy right here so you all can see it. And this guy right here. have longer ones. I'm gonna go ahead and put it right here from underneath. You see, it doesn't really take that long of a time to fill in. You don't want to extend the leaves on this one too far out because you want to be able to see the branches coming out of the bouquet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pine cones and my gourds. As you can see right here, I have some gourds that I got at Porterfield's. I went ahead and because they're made out of styrofoam, I put a pick underneath it, and I'm going to use it as a pick, and I'm going to insert into that foam as close as I can to the foam to fill in that focal point. And I'm going to do 3 on the front and then 1 on the back, and then I'm going to do 2 pine cones on the front and 1 on the back. All right, let me see. There's 1. Put these long ones right here. At this point, you kind of have to look for the foam because you cover so much of it, it's hard to see it, but you can hear it when it grabs onto it. And also, you want to make sure that you, I'm going to look for it right there. There we go. One of my buds fell out, so I'm going to go ahead and pick him up and insert right. And then I have a 3rd pumpkin for this side. I'm going to go ahead and add another orange one over to this side in between the bow. Remember when you put a bow also, I'm going to actually take a second to talk about ribbon. When you put a bow in a project like this, we don't want, there we go. We don't want to show the bow. We don't want to see all the bow. We want to see some of the material, some of the ribbon, but you don't want to see the whole bow. You can insert some of these materials or some of the foliage and weave it into the material. I mean, bows are pretty, but you don't want to see, there's nothing like seeing a really pretty, and nobody else is better than David to do ribbon. The way he just lays, and I've learned so much about him, and that's what I've learned, that you don't want to see the big bow, and especially in an arrangement like this, you want to see a little bit of that burlap, but you don't want to see the whole. I mean, I'll talk too much, so I'll keep poking. I know you guys are probably thinking, hurry up. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add some of the pine cones for another natural material or element. Sometimes I need both of my hands. I think that I can do it with one, but there we go. I'm going to add 1 at the top. There we go, it shows. I'm going to add this guy to the back. There you go. And let me see what else we have. What else can we add to it? Designer I work with, I ask him sometimes, how do you know when you're done? And he says, you'll know when you're done, and then you double it. So we're gonna go ahead and add some of these little twigs that have some green foliage into it. That's just another texture, and then after that we'll be done. So last time I climbed this ladder, my shirt's all untucked by now, but all right, let's see. And what this does, this twiggy stuff, that just adds some more movement. I don't know if you guys can see how it dangles. It's just so pretty. And it adds some green to it too. Like I said on the swag day, that nothing is prettier to me in autumn than like the trees changing. And when the trees change, they're not all green, they're not all red, they're multiple colors. I'm gonna want it back. And one over here on the back, coming down. And that's it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I had so much fun. Like you can see, it only takes about 10 to 15 minutes. It adds so much drama to your dining room once it's all set up, or once your guests are arriving for the party. It literally took me no time, and it adds so much to your living room. I'll go ahead and encourage you to try it. Once again, I want to ask you to share this video on Facebook, like it. If there's something a suggestion that you have, please feel free to let me know. I love to hear from you guys. Once again, thank you so much, and I will see you next Sunday. Bye.